right, sports fans, we'd like to welcome you to a very special edition of Sports Memo's College Football Bowl Forecast. My friends, we have just a few more weeks in the college football campaign, and we're going to continue to bring you tons of free winners, amazing betting insights, and a few laughs, too, from some of Sports Memo's documented leaderboard fixtures. So grab that helmet, lace up those cleats, get ready to make some money in bowl action. This week, we have an amazing panel. We're going to bring them on for you. Let me go around the horn, my friends. Jesse Schule, Nick Parsons, Ross Benjamin. Let me do some individual hellos. Jesse the Body Schule, showing off those guns in that Southie hat. How are you today, buddy?
Merry Christmas, Papa Joe.
Merry Christmas to you and your lovely family, Jesse. My good friend Nick Parsons, a lot of you don't know it. He's moonlighting as a local weatherman. He's out in the snow right now. Actually, Nick, it's cold over by Nick. He is bundled up. Nick, how you doing today?
Not bad. Yeah, I got in an accident with a snow shovel. I slipped, and anyways, it's a long story. But hey, the picks are going great, and I'm looking forward to getting into this with you.
Well, I got to tell you, I love it. You're as cool as me. We wear sunglasses indoors. We're so good looking, we get away with it. My good buddy, one of the pioneers of the sports betting industry. People don't know it, but he actually played hockey for the Buffalo Sabres. He was a captain, and his career was cut a little short by an Achilles. My good buddy Ross Benjamin, how are you this afternoon, sir?
I'm doing very well, Joey. Thank you. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you guys, and also to the audience as well.
Now, sports fans, I got to tell you, I can't believe they pay me to do this, but I get to work with not just the best in the industry, but some of my favorite people on the planet, Jesse, Nick, and Ross. It is an honor to do our last college football show of the week before the Christmas weekend. Now, guys, whether you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or don't celebrate anything at all of us here at Sports Memo want to wish all of you and your families a happy, a healthy holiday season. Having said that, I got a few announcements. Every successful sports bettor and sports handicapper I know use the Gold Sheet, the oldest and the most respected of all the betting publications. After this show, www.goldsheet.com. Use what the pros use. Now, guys, I say it every show because it's true. The customer appreciation at Sports Memo is unrivaled. We know that saving you money just as good as making you money. I want to tell you about a couple of discounts you can use after the show. www.sportsmemo.com. I'm going to tell you right now, get ready, a pen and paper in hand, because this is a long list of discounts. First of all, we still have two $2 Tuesday featured cappers plays available. Dion D'Amico, the first lady of Las Vegas, and the best-looking capper in the world, and Moneyline Matt. They're both have some big plays for you available. They're the $2 Tuesday featured cappers, if I'm not mistaken. One play is going off Saturday, one is Sunday, but get on them now before those lines move. Our second is a doozy. Guys, it is bowl season. We're going to be talking bowl games on this show, and we're not going to go na and take it away. Still available for a short time, the College Football Bowl All Access. Any capper or as many cappers as you want, just $149 after the show. You got to go to www.sportsmemo.com and use this for your favorite cappers. I'm going to tell you now, it's the only way to ring in the new year. Guys, it just doesn't end there. The biggest, the granddaddy of all the discounts. Get 25% off your entire card at Sports Memo and at Wager Talk. Just use code GIFT25 at checkout. Now, let me tell you real quick about this. This is something I really believe is the best discount there is, but you've got to strategically use this. You can put as much stuff at Sports Memo or Wager Talk in your cart as you want. You want Jesse for the rest of football, you got it. You want Nick for next year, for the whole year, you got it. You want Ross for a whole month, you got it. You want Joe D just for the week, you got it. You can put as much stuff as you want in your cart, but you can only use this one time at Sports Memo, one time at Wager Talk. So sit down, pen and paper, put an abacus in hand. Go rent yourself one of those kids from Geek Squad to help you figure this out, because it's the only way to go. And guys, I got to tell you, the great folks at Sports Memo know how much you love myself and my wife, the first family of Las Vegas. We got a special discount for everybody. Joe and Dion D'Amico. Dion's doing 5 sports right now. She's on 5 leaderboards. Joe D's doing 4 sports. He's on 4 leaderboards. Get both Joe and Dion the rest of 2022 for just $99. You can't beat that with a bat. Now, guys, those are our discounts. They're going to be going throughout the show. If you missed any one of them, we're going to you're not. If you miss any one of them during the top half of the show, they'll be going periodically. You'll be running across the bottom of your screen, guys. Now, before we get into free plays, here's some college football line movements this week from our good friends at my favorite book in the world, the Superbook at the Westgate. Now, I tell you every week that, a lot of things factor into lines moving. The general public will move a line, injuries and weather. This time of year in the bowls, wowee. We talked about it all of last week. myself and these other great panelists. I'm going to bring it up again. This time of year, college football opt-outs and transfer portals have really affected a lot of these lines. But these specific line movements have been moved by the wise guys, the smart money, the sharps here in Southern Nevada, and we wanted to make you aware of them. Now, these games are going off next week, but we still want to make you aware of them. Oregon, 13 up to 14.5. As of this show, the wise guys are all over the Ducks, quack, quack. Iowa from +1.5 to -2.5, a 4-point swing. Sharp money on the Hawkeyes and LSU. They're roaring it in from 9 up to 14.5. The smart money is roaring with the Tigers. 3 line movements by the wise guys here in Southern Nevada. Oregon, Iowa, LSU. There you go, sports fans. Now, we've got 3 roundtable games, and we've got 3 of the best cappers on the planet going to be chiming in on those games. So without any further ado, let's go to our first roundtable game. The Sun Belt 6-6 Raging Cajuns face the AAC 7-5 Cougars in the Independence Bowl. Neither team owns a great ATS Bowl record, but ULL 5-2 ATS the last 7 non-conference games. And how about Houston 4-0 ATS the last 4 games played versus Sun Belt foes? Yes, the Independence Bowl Friday 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Houston, Louisiana, Lafayette. The Cougars are 7-57. We're going to go to my good friend Jesse Schule. Jesse, take it away.
Thanks, Joe. As you know, I like to be quite selective with my plays in the bowl season, and especially with these early bowls. Not all of these matchups are what you'd call a game that you really want to watch, but this one I think is going to be an entertaining game. I'm excited to see this game. You got the Houston Cougars, one of the highest scoring teams in the country, and Louisiana Lafayette, more known for their defense. However, I'm not sure that Lafayette played a lot of teams like these Cougars that can put up the points they can. I don't really trust Houston's defense, though, and Dana Holgerson doesn't have a great record in bowls. I believe he's 3-6 straight up in his last 9 bowls. Not a lot of opt-outs to worry about in this game. I think the majority of the skill position players for Houston are going to play. We got Chandler Fields at quarterback for Louisiana Lafayette. Some pretty pedestrian numbers, 954 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But he did lead the offense to 41 points against Texas State in the season finale, and they did score 36 points against Georgia Southern. This Houston defense can't stop anybody. They gave up 36 to Temple and 37 to Tulsa in the final 3 weeks of the season. I think both of these teams are going to score 30 to 40. I like the total to go over the number in this game.
Jesse Schule says over in the Independence Bowl. Cougars, Raging Cajuns. Jesse says not every game, these early bowl games are something he'd like to watch. Jesse, I look at these early bowl games kind of like I do at the Adult Film Channel on my satellite TV program. They're not all good-looking people, and not all the segments are very good, but they still serve their purpose for me. I'm going to leave that on the table, guys. My good friend, you like that? That was a good analogy. Our good friend Chris, our producers in the backstage, going, I can't believe they give this guy money to do this. Guys, I want you to know we have a lot of fun, but you're getting content and betting insights like no other betting program or betting brand out there, Sports Memo TV. Guys, we're going to go to my good friend Nick Parsons. Nick is bundled up. It's cold by where he is, but I'll tell you what isn't cold. His plays, they're heating up red hot. Nick's going to give you his take. Houston, Lafayette, Independence Bowl, Cougars 757. Take it away.
Well, both teams, for the most part, struggled this year, Joe, despite making it to this bowl game. Louisiana, just 6-6. Houston, 7-7. The Cajuns, they are missing several key players. Starting quarterback Ben Woolridge, he went out in mid-November with a torn ACL, and as Jesse pointed out, they have Chandler Fields in, and now he's been decent, but they're also missing their leading wide receiver in Michael Jefferson. He had 810 receptions, 7 touchdowns. He averaged 15.9 yards per reception. I mean, that'll be difficult to replace, but as Jesse did point it out, Fields was decent for sure. And now the Cougars, as Jesse also pointed out, they have trouble stopping people, and they really like to run up the score. Houston finished 12-2 last year. This was a major step back. They lost 37-30 to Tulsa in their final game. They didn't live up to expectations, obviously, but they enter with a full roster. Clayton Tune, he had 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Houston's going to be able to control this game, and I think it's going to keep the foot on the gas from start to finish. So I'm getting in the car with Jesse. I like the over in this one as well.
Nick Parsons says, great minds think alike. He and Jesse both say over in this matchup. A lot of great points, great breakdown from Nick Parsons. What we come to expect from Nick. He does great work over at Sports Memo. All right, Jesse and Nick both say over in the Independence Bowl. I will tell you guys, don't go anywhere. 2 more roundtable games, our best bet segment. If you miss any portion of the show, I'll run down the roundtable games at the end of round 3. But you don't want to go anywhere because this is some of the best content you get anywhere in sports betting today. Our second roundtable game, the ACC 7-5 Demon Deacons take on the SEC 6-6 Tigers. Wake Forest 5-1 ATS the last 6 non-conference matchups, but Mizzou 5-2 ATS the last 7 versus teams with a winning record. They get you paid. Tough game, tough number. Gasparilla Bowl Friday 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wake Forest versus Missouri Demon Deacons 258.5. An icon of the sports betting industry. Ross Benjamin, take it away.
Thank you, Joey. Just a reminder to the folks out there, 3-0 to start the bowl season. I do have a winning side on the game those gentlemen just talked about, Houston and Louisiana Lafayette. You can get it right now at Sports Memo for just $15. All right, the Wake Demon Deacons and the Missouri Tigers, as Joey alluded to. Wake has scored 31 points or more in 10 of their 12 games this year. As a matter of fact, Wake Forest games averaged a combined 66.1 points scored per game this season. Defensively, the Demon Deacons have been poor all year, and now they just lost 2 defensive backs to the transfer portal, so that situation worsens than it already was. And Missouri, they started the year, Joey, going 8-1 to the under, but they've gone 3-0 to the over in their last 3 games with a combined average of 68.3 points scored per contest. And Missouri also lost several players to the transfer portal on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm looking for a high-scoring affair here. As a matter of fact, this total of 58.5 is low by Wake Forest standards, and I think Missouri is going to capture some of the momentum they had offensively, and both defenses will struggle in this game. Wake, Missouri, over the total of 58.5 for Ross Benjamin.
You're muted, Joe.
Solid.
Ross Benjamin says the Gasparilla Bowl, Wake Forest, Missouri, over. Lots of scoring. Missouri, momentum. Wake Forest scoring. Lots of scoring. Take the over here. I'm interested to see what our good buddy, they're always flamboyant, they're always exciting, they're always informative, Jesse Schule has got to say. Jesse, give us your take on the Gasparilla Bowl, Wake and Missouri Demon Deacons. 258.5. Take it away.
Always flamboyant. I don't know if I like that, actually. Anyways, as Ross alluded to, Missouri has some issues with opt-outs and injuries. In fact, I looked at the preview for this game. My information is Missouri's got 15 players either opting out, injured, or in the transfer portal, compared to Wake Forest only has 5 players that they need to worry about missing, and most of those are backups. And I look at the motivation for this game. The SEC is considered the big boys on the block in college football, but they don't do well in these early bowl games. If you look at the SEC's overall record in bowl games, it's aided by the fact that they always have 1 or 2 teams going to the college football playoffs or playing in these New Year's Day games that are a lot more significant that you know that they're going to show up for. But prior to December 31st, they don't do so well. In fact, last year, the SEC was 1-5 straight up in bowls before December 31st. I've heard that Wake Forest is quite motivated for this game. They're really excited to get the opportunity to beat an SEC team. They've got more starters available to them. They've got a decent quarterback in Sam Hartman. Their offense has been quite potent at times. You do have to worry about Wake Forest turning the ball over, though. Anybody who saw them play against Louisville this year is going to have a hard time backing them after that. But you just don't have much of a choice here with Missouri and the personnel issues they have. Wake Forest is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 non-conference games. Missouri 2-12 against the spread in their last 14 in the month of December. I think a shorthanded Missouri team is going to be in trouble here.
Jesse, the Iceman Schule says a
Not
short-handed.
flamboyant enough for you?
That was flamboyant enough, Jess. Jesse Schule doing great work over at Sports Memo says Wake Forest. Too many problems with Missouri. And by the way, Jesse, I didn't mean flamboyant like Liberace. I just meant over the top and very animated. That's all. By the way, guys, one more roundtable game to come. Then our best bets. Don't go anywhere. And once again, I will run down all the roundtable predictions by our amazing documentary winning cappers after this next round. Our third roundtable game, we're going to talk about the Hawaii Bowl. The Conference USA 7-5 Blue Raiders traveled to where? Sunny Hawaii to go up against the Mountain West 7-5 Aztecs. MT State 5-1 ATS the last 6 non-conference matchups, while San Diego State 4-1 ATS the last 5 in the month of December. They turn it up in the month of December. Hawaii Bowl Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Middle Tennessee State versus San Diego State. The Aztecs 6.5, 48.5. Let's go to our good buddy Nick Parsons. Nick, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, the Hawaii Bowl is always interesting because it's basically the only game on in North America. I know that the Premier League starts back up on Christmas Eve morning over across the pond there. But for North America, yeah, it's always the only game on that day. And yeah, San Diego State, it got off to a bit of a rocky start this year. It opened 2-3. It lost to Arizona by a score of 38-20 in its brand new, awesome stadium right at the start. But they did recover. They finished 7-5 overall to earn this bid at the Hawaii Bowl. They would change offensive coordinators and starting quarterbacks. And Jalen Maiden, he took over under center after a few weeks, and after that, SDSU did play a lot better. Now, Middle Tennessee State, it had a similar fate. It started 3-4, but it closed strong, winning its last 3 games and 4 of its last 5. Last year, MTSU beat Toledo in the Bahamas Bowl. Now, last year, the Aztecs defense, it was downright dominant. But this year's team, it hasn't quite lived up to expectations. But overall, SDSU is super strong. It's really solid against the run in particular. Overall, it's a tough unit. The Blue Raiders have had difficulties at times keeping defenses out of the backfield. They don't have much of a run game either. And so that makes their offense even more one-dimensional facing San Diego State. Jesse pointed out earlier that there's a lot of these early bowl games which aren't the best. This one isn't circled on my radar or anything. But if I had to lean one way or the other, I think I like San Diego State here.
Nick Parsons burning up those leaderboards at Sports Memo says San Diego State minus the 6.5. Not one of his favorite games, but he puts a lean on. You know, guys, I really do give the cappers on this show a lot of credit. We're covering roundtable games. Going to make sure we give you a mixture of everything and spread it out a little bit. Not every game is a marquee game, especially during these early bowl game contests. And you know what? I really do give them a lot of credit. Some of these games are very tough, especially with the transfer portals and the opt-outs. But Ross, Nick, and Jesse are hitting it out of the park today. Great stuff, Nick. Thank you. Without any further ado, we're going to finish the roundtable segment, man, with our cleanup hitter, Mr. Ross Benjamin. He's going to give his take on the Hawaii Bowl. Aztecs 6.5, 48.5. Ross, take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with that theme. Boy, oh boy, Joe, I'm of Christian faith. And if people have nothing better to do than to watch this game on Christmas Eve, I will sincerely pray for you because this lacks a lot of appeal, to say the least. Anyway, San Diego State 4-0 to the under this year when the total is 47 or greater. Right now, we're looking at a total of 48.5. And those 4 games that stayed under were average a combined 35.3 points per game. This is a San Diego State team that's allowed 14 or less points in 7 of 12 games this year. Contrarily, on offense, they've scored 23 or less in 8 of 12 games. You see that common theme there, Joe? A lot of low-scoring games. Last 3 games, San Diego State has allowed 16.7 points per game and 234 yards per contest. So this is a very boring offense and a very strong defense on the field for San Diego State. Middle Tennessee, although they struggled most of the season, defensively, they did come on a bit over their last 3 games, allowing just 21 points per contest. And they also forced 8 turnovers during that course of time. So that'll be a drive. Those will be drive killers, and I'm sure they'll force at least 2 in this situation as well. Hopefully, it's not creating a short field for their offense rather than stymieing a potential scoring drive for San Diego State. Here's the thing. This game to me, 48.5 is a low number for Middle Tennessee. It's a high number for San Diego State. I'm going to say that San Diego State will dictate the terms of this game and keep it within their comfort zone. And if that's the case, I'm going to go under 48.5 in Middle Tennessee and San Diego State.
Ross Benjamin says under 48.5 in a game that he's not going to leave the Feast of Seven Fishes on Christmas Eve. For all you non-Catholics, I'll tell you about it later. He says it's not the most exciting game in the world, but he gave you a great breakdown, a great reason why you should go under 48.5. My friends, I'm going to run down all the predictions from our great panelists on the 3 roundtable games, and then we're going to get into our best bet segment. So our first roundtable game was the Independence Bowl. Houston, UL Lafayette, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Cougars are 7-57. Jesse, the Iceman, says he's going over. A lot of scoring there. Guess what? Great minds think alike. Our good buddy Nick Parsons said he's also going over too. I got to tell you, 2 guys tell you to play the over. 2 guys like Jesse and Nick, go take the money. Don't take your kid's college fund. Go bet the over. That's all I'm saying. The kid didn't need to go to college anyway. No, go bet the college fund. It's an over. Great minds think alike. Our Gasparilla Bowl, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wake Forest, Missouri. Demon Deacons are -2. Total 58.5. Ross Benjamin said he likes the over. Lots of scoring here. Gave some great angles wide. Jesse, the Iceman Schule, said Wake Forest. Too many problems with Missouri. The line is a nice line. Take Wake. Take it to the bank. Our third roundtable game. God, I got to tell you. Ross is in a cold weather place. Nick's in a cold weather place. Jesse, let's face it, he'd wear a tank top even if he was in the North Pole. And Joey, right now it's nice out here. But this game is in Hawaii, and I think that our good friends at Sports Memo should pay for all his cappers to go over to Hawaii and watch the game over the next few days. Hawaii Bowl, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Middle Tennessee State, San Diego State, the Aztecs, 6.5, 48.5. Nick Parsons said San Diego State just got too much. Take them late, under a TD. Ross said, you know what, boring game. Under, go under 48.5. Guys, we got 3 roundtable games. We have our best bet segment, so don't go anywhere. Our first best bet panelist is going to be my good friend Jesse Schule. We joke a lot, Jesse and I, because we do a lot of content, but we've been friends for decades, so we have that camaraderie like that. We have a lot of fun, but the bottom line is Jesse is a winner, and he's been winning for decades, and numbers don't lie. You need to go over to Sports Memo and check his numbers, and he wins in multiple sports, and it's not just for a month or a couple of months. He's been winning for decades, year in, year out. You always see the name Jesse Schule every season for every sport right there on the leaderboard. And since August, I got to tell you, he could get arrested for killing bookmakers. I'll tell you that right now. Jesse Schule's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side of Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet for you. Jesse, take it away.
Thanks, Joe. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, at Jesse Schule, you'd see that Mr. Perfect made an appearance today. He was pretty excited about some things. The most notable of those is that I am a perfect 11-0 with 5 unit NFL releases this year. That's right, perfect 11-0 for the entire year with NFL top plays. Putting that record to the test this weekend. You can get that at Sports Memo right now. And let's get right into this best bet. We don't need to talk about anything else. Perfect. It doesn't get any better than perfect, does it? Ross complained about the final game of the round table. Not exciting enough for Ross. I think Ross will like this one a lot more. We got Kansas and Arkansas, and I'm looking at the total in this game, and I like it to go over. A lot of opt-outs to worry about for Arkansas, most notably their 2 leading tacklers, a couple linebackers, Drew Sanders and Bumper Pool, one of the greater names in college football. And let's face it, Arkansas doesn't have a great defense at the best of times, losing their 2 leading tacklers. And they're facing a Kansas team that can put up some points. And Kansas, they're really going to be motivated for this game. They haven't been to a bowl in a while. They won 6 games this year. They got off to a hot start. Their offense was firing on all cylinders. They lost their quarterback, and things kind of went south. Lost their final 3 games of the regular season, but I'm not concerned about that because after a long layoff, they've had plenty of time to get back to where they were early in the season. I think they're going to get their points against this Arkansas team. And anybody that watched Kansas play this year, they can't stop anybody. Arkansas is still a proper SEC team with backups that can probably get some things done. So I like both these teams to get their fair share of points, and I like the total to go over.
Jesse Schule says, Kansas, Arkansas, forget about college basketball. This is a college football winner. That would be a good college basketball matchup. Jesse says, over 69, Kansas, Arkansas, in the Liberty Bowl. Guys, Jesse's doing great work over at Sports Memo. You heard and you see throughout the show all the great customer appreciation discounts. Jesse's an ideal capper to use that 25% off your entire cart because he contributes to quite a few sports, and he's on every sport leaderboard that he contributes to. So, after the show, Sports Memo, go follow Jesse to the bank. Great breakdown, Jesse. Thank you. I want to talk about my good buddy, Nick Parsons. Nick hit the ground running when he joined the Sports Memo family months ago, and he never looked in the rear view. You see him quite a bit. He does a lot of Sports Memo TV content because he's in demand, because he wins so much. And let's face it, he breaks down a game like very few in the business today. He is a winner, and he is all over Sports Memo leaderboards in several different sports. And to be honest with you, he's a humble guy. I know me. I'll toot my own horn. You got to pay extra for that here in Vegas. But my good friend Nick Parsons, he's a little more humble guy. But I'm here to tell you how great he is. One of the best cappers in the history of this business. His reputation preceded him. They handpicked him, brought him over to Sports Memo because they wanted one of the best, and he is one of the best. And it might be cold where he is, but he is burning books right now, killing it over at Sports Memo on the leaderboards. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side. He's got a free best bet. Nick Parsons, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Joe. And I got the pleasure of doing your show this morning, and I talked a little bit about this. But yeah, so far over both the college and NFL seasons, I'm showing a profit in each of those sports. And as we all know, that's not the easiest thing to do. And now I'm looking to close out strong and to complete the great seasons on both of those. So you guys just keep your eyes open. Take advantage of all these different deals that Joe's run down over at Sports Memo, the leader in this industry. And for this game, I'm going back to one of our roundtable games. This could possibly, Ross was saying that he has a big play on this game, and I'm not sure if this is his side or not. Probably, I'm not sure at all, but I do like a side in this game a lot, for sure. As I pointed out, both of these teams underwhelmed. Houston was 7-5. Lafayette was 6-6. Last year, Houston finished 12-2. Houston is playing its third straight bowl game this year. It's looking for a second straight victory. It narrowly beat Auburn 17-13 in the Birmingham Bowl last year. But despite the 7-5 record, it finished with a really good offensive average there. It averages 37.2 points per game. That's ranked 14th in the FBS. The defense was pretty good too. They allowed 6.5 yards per play versus FBS opponents. That ranked 16th overall. So as I say, despite putting up these decent numbers, the Cougars definitely underwhelmed after last year's great campaign. But Louisiana, it was expected to take a step back this year with the departure of its head coach and record-setting quarterback. Louisiana actually does come into this one with slightly better defensive numbers, but Houston's offense, in my opinion, it's just too good in this one in my overall. Jesse also pointed out these bowl games, they're really difficult. And Joe, you have, with all these transfers, coaches changed, and, players sitting out for various reasons. Sometimes I like to completely dissect a game, looking at individual player talent, trying to uncover any edge I can. Other times I'd like to keep it simple. Ultimately, I think Houston's offense is just going to be too much here for Louisiana to keep up to. So I'm going to recommend a play on Houston.
Nick Parsons, burning bookmaker, is going to go to jail for arson, too, as well as murder. He said, take the Houston Cougars in the Independence Bowl. Guys, Nick really, like I told you, he's a humble guy. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him before I go to my good buddy, Ross Benjamin. his bowl record over the years is really one of the best in this industry in those years. He'd be a perfect capper if he'd to take advantage of that 149 for the rest of the bowl season. I mean, he'd be a perfect capper. You utilize any of these or take advantage of any of these great customer appreciation discounts. But really, that bowl thing, that bowl discount, you follow Nick. I'm going to tell you now. He won't just take you to the bank. He'll be bank president by the time he's done. He's a winner. He's going to be here for another few more minutes. I want to go to my good friend Ross Benjamin. Ross has been a friend to me for many years. I talk about Ross a lot, because he is one of the best in the history of this business. He kind of created the business. And as we've seen guys come and go, guys disappear with social media, you see a lot of people come and go quickly. Ross is still here. And guess what? Every year, every season, no matter the sport, college or pro, hardwood, grass, ice, it don't matter. Ross Benjamin's name is a leaderboard fixture. You could be lucky at something. That's good. It's not like marrying the guy that owned Microsoft's daughter and walking into $50 billion. But be good. Be good. And they always come to you. And let me tell you, that's why you always come to Ross Benjamin, one of the best in the history of this business. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect on the premium side of Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Mr. Ross Benjamin, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Joe. Sports Memo right now. Again, I mentioned 3-0 in the bowl season, also on a 7-1 college football run. I will, like I alluded to earlier, I have a play up for sale right now at Sports Memo. That's Houston and Louisiana Lafayette to go at it on Friday. So you want to take advantage of that, and also the 149 for the rest of the bowl season with not only myself, but all the great handicappers over at Sports Memo. Just to run down some more, 61-46 since January 30th of this year with my NFL picks, 57%. I've been in the top 5 at Sports Memo all season long. In the NFL also, my NFL 5-star and 10-star plays since December 5th of last year, 14-5. That's good for 74%, folks. It made you 4,210 units based on $100 a unit players. NBA, final thing, 57-47 plus 53-30 since April 1st of this year. In college basketball, 25-18, 58% since November 17th. So a lot of good things happening over at Sports Memo. Find me there under my page, Ross Benjamin. And again, I'll make you some money, and you can't get any more affordable rates from me than you get at Sports Memo, folks. All right, so let's get to my my best bet winner, I should say. Jesse, I am excited to talk about this game, by the way. Anybody who got excited to talk about Middle Tennessee and San Diego State are the same people that sit under porch and watch the grass grow. Anyway, Minnesota right now is a 9.5-point favorite. This game does take place on Thursday, December 29th, which is a week from today. It's the Pinstripe Bowl, Joey. How about Aaron Judge signing and being named captain? How about that? Good news. Anyway, Syracuse started the season 6-0, but they finished the season by losing 5 of their last 6. They did manage to win their regular season finale against 3-9 Boston College. That snapped a 5-game win streak. And look, if you just look at this line, Minnesota minus 9.5, it tells you everything. Because if this game was played at the end of the regular season, you would be seeing Minnesota somewhere around a 3-point favorite on a neutral field. But here's the thing. Syracuse lost their star running back at that, Sean Tucker. He's opted for the NFL draft. They also lost their starting cornerbacks, one to the transfer portal, another who's opting out for the NFL draft. And they were decimated on the defensive side of the ball by injuries down the stretch. So Minnesota, on the other hand, they've run the ball really well all season long. This is a team that averages over 200 yards per game on the ground and also averages over 35 minutes in time of possession, which certainly helps their defensive cause. I just think Minnesota here is the play, minus 9.5 over Syracuse. The Orange had very limited quality depth to start the year, and now they're well into their depth right now. And I think you're going to see Minnesota take advantage and win this game big, Joe.
My dear friend, and an icon in the sports betting industry, Mr. Ross Benjamin, says Syracuse overmatched to begin with, and a couple of star guys, not going to be here this week. Minnesota's got too much. Take the Golden Gophers in the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium. Guys, Ross, it doesn't matter what sport you follow him, so he's another capper. Go over to Sports Memory after the show. That 25% off anything you fit in your court. He's a guy you got to put in there. I'm going to tell you now. I mean, you won't go wrong with Nick, Jesse, but Ross, when we talk about each one of these guys, Ross is an ideal guy because it's on a leaderboard every season. College, pro, grass, ice, doesn't matter. Hardwood, don't matter. Don't matter. He's a winner. Follow him. You'll follow him to the bank. Guys, get ready. Our producer's going to be in the back going, adjust the volume. Joey is excited. No Viagra, no Red Bull for Joey. Don't need it, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, but I am excited. Tonight, as promised, I will have up several games of the month in both college and pro football for the weekend. You will see at least one 5% and probably a 10% play, my friends. As you know, I'm 18-3 in 2022 with my 10% releases. Expect a huge payday this weekend from Joe D. That's my Christmas present to you guys. As far as tonight goes, oh my. We're taping the show on Thursday, guys. I want you to know Thursday night. Let me tell you what I got. I'm going to have my college football game total of the month. My friends, my bowl releases are perfect this season. I've been very, very selective, okay? I only released a few games, but I'm perfect in them. But my totals in college football this season, the entire season, 100%. I only released 5 of them. They're 5-0. I release so few, but when I do, they are money, guys. Tonight, the Armed Forces Bowl, Air Force Baylor. I got the winner. You can't argue with success, let alone perfection. I have it posted right now in Sports Memo, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, it is a winner. I want to go into my free play because I'm telling you right now, you won't need a Viagra when I'm done with this analysis. I'm excited. Going to get you excited. I'm going to tell you right now, after this analysis, the pregnancy rate in the country is going to go 14%. I promise you that. Sports fans, you ever notice that you never see a sports book, a casino, a racetrack, or even a local bookmaker go out of business? Do you know why? Because the general public loses. That's why. All right? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the Quick Lane Bowl on Monday between New Mexico State and Bowling Green. That's exactly what's going to happen. The general public is on one side already. The Aggies actually opened up a slight 1-point favorite here, and as of this show, the line is now moved to the Falcons minus 3.5 points. The general public is all over the MAC team. Now, guys, I know New Mexico State plays in the Independence Conference. They're outshined by other reps from the conference like Notre Dame, Liberty, BYU, and even Army. But I'm here to tell you that this team is a pretty decent team. They started the campaign off losing their first 4 games, and then something happened. You know what happened? The team solidified behind quarterback Diego Pavia. I love that guy's name. By the way, guys, the play caller was a little banged up, but it was announced this morning that he's at least 90%. I'm not worried about that. That's propaganda by the coach. Recovered from a hamstring injury. He is going to be 100%. He will play. There's no doubt. So no worries there. When he got the starting job, the offense got in sync. He produced an 11-1 touchdown to interception ratio since he got the starting job. Now, this team, they've won 5 of the last 6, both straight up and against the number. But when he took over the reins, he took it up a notch. Guys, they changed significantly for the better. They've rattled off 4 wins in the last 5 games, both straight up and against the spread. They really have stepped up quite a bit here, guys. I'm telling you, the whole team just had a different attitude. The way they played, they were aggressive. So when I tell you that their numbers over the season are skewed, believe me, they are skewed, okay? The numbers through the first 4 games of the season brought their overall numbers on the season down quite a bit. So when you look at their stats overall in the season, you go, well, they're not that impressive. Look at the stats from the first half of the season to the second half. You'll see something different. Okay. He's going to decimate the Bowling Green 104th ranked pass defense. Now, when the Falcons have the ball, it's no secret that they're a passing team. To be honest, they can't run the ball at all. As a matter of fact, they barely break 100 yards per game on the ground. They average 101 yards per contest. They strictly throw the ball. They rely, you know what? Let me rephrase that. They live and die with the pass. Now, they have a pretty darn good quarterback themselves in Matt McDonald. The guy can throw, guys. But he has to face an Aggies pass defense that ranks 14th nationally. You don't realize that a team like this ranks 14th nationally against the pass. That's pretty good. This team frustrated much better offenses in the air this season. By the way, let's go back around to Pavia, folks. He's a monster threat on the ground as well. Dual threat quarterback. He really complements Stark Thomas and Jiminy Jones. I like his name. One of the better names in college football, Jets. They're solid backfield tandem. He's added another 452 yards and 6 TDs with his legs. So once again, when he took over the reins, the entire offense, the whole offensive unit got in sync, guys. everybody started producing at a much higher level. Once again, their statistics are skewed because it was so bad the first portion of the season that it doesn't show overall. One more item, folks, guys. Bowling Green has only been favored away from home one time in the last 5 years. That happened back in October, and guess what? They pooped the bed. Tell you that. When it comes to covering New Mexico State, it's been money. So let's go with the money. Take the 3.5 points with the Aggies. I'm going to tell you right now, general public loses again here. Let me bring this great panel on. It is Thursday. It's our last college football show before the holiday weekend. Now, guys, once again, real quick, it is Christmas. I want to wish all of you and your families a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa. If you don't celebrate any of those things, I just want to wish you guys health and happiness from all of us here at Sports Memo. Now, guys, real quick, don't forget to tune into all of Sports Memo TV's amazing content. Hit that subscribe button to get a reminder. You don't want to miss any of our Cappers free winners or betting insights. It's that time to go. We left you with enough time that you can get all the free winning information you got in time. Get these bets down. And then after that, you go over to sportsmemo.com. The best customer appreciation discounts on the planet are over there. You follow Ross. You follow Nick. You follow Justin. Even me. All right, guys? It's that time. We're going to take on off out of here. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Remember, increase your chances of making a profit. Follow the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet here at Sports Memo, because we don't go gambling, we go winning. On behalf of Sports Memo, Jesse, Ross, Nick, and me, Joey D, everyone out there, Merry Christmas, God bless, good luck, and have a winning day, guys. We love you. Thank you.